Can you believe it? It's not even 10 a.m. and we are ready to go and hit the road for day 5. Got the oil changed in the van at Walmart, where I slept in the parking lot last night in Mountain Home, Arkansas. And we are getting on the road. While they were changing the oil, me and Rue went inside and used the bathroom, got cleaned up, got changed. And I can't believe, but I'm ready to get on the road at 10 a.m. It's all good. So we're on to somewhere in Tennessee today. So stay tuned and keep following our cross-country trip from Arizona to North Carolina. So this is Lake Norfork, Arkansas. And I was supposed to camp down on the southeastern end of it in the Jordan Recreation Area, but didn't make it there last night. I just had to turn around because I didn't turn the camera on soon enough to get that. Didn't know I was coming up on it that soon.
King of the road, trailer for sailoring. Man, trailer for sailoring. Ain't got no cigarettes, but trailer for sailoring. Give, man, don't pay no.
Okay, here we go. Let's try this again. This time we got the camera rolling. There are multitudes of campgrounds around the lake. Like some of them are out like on little inlets or islands. Like you can camp right in the middle of the lake. Looked at a bunch of different options. But got here too late last night to venture out to them because just didn't know where I was and didn't want to try to navigate in the dark. Norfork Lake. Well, now we're in Henderson, so I guess Henderson Park. It's another little town right on the lake. Boy, there's all kind of big marina there. Tons of boats. You know, now that I think of it, Lake Norfork sounds familiar. I bet it's I have to look it up and see if it's one of the lakes that they do the bass fishing tournaments on. Many years ago, when I lived in North Carolina, I worked at East Carolina University for the non-credit programs in the continuing studies, College of Continuing Studies. And it was my absolute favorite job I ever had in all my years of working in administration and universities. I really enjoyed that job. Should have probably never left it. But I got pregnant and had a kid and moved an hour away from campus, so ended up resigning after to stay home with my son. But anyway, we used to have programs that we held through the non-credit programs. It was all off-campus. Most of them were off-campus events that had nothing to do with college classes. Anyway, we held a bass fishing seminar every year. It was over a long weekend, and we would get these the big bass fishermen like Jimmy Houston had a TV show on one of the sports channels. Jimmy Houston and all these big named, bass fishermen would come and speak and, teach seminars on bass fishing. And that really was a fun one. It was held in Raleigh, North Carolina. Every year would, run out of conference rooms in a hotel, and I handled, everything from start to finish with those programs. So I'd get to schedule all the speakers' rooms and any accommodations that they wanted or extras or anything. We supplied for them and scheduled all the conference rooms and the agenda and everything. And the fun part about it is Bass would send us product, all kind of fishing lures and fake worms and hooks and everything, fishing line and all that. And some of it was, sponsored by like Jimmy Houston or, whatever big name they had speaking, but Bass Pro Shops sponsored the seminar. So it was product, that they sell in the Bass Pro Shop stores. And set up a conference room and would lay out all this product. And we would do cash sales for bass. And that was fun because it was an interesting, different kind of people that came to those seminars, and the ones who spoke too. It was different from anything else that we did. We would hold like historical symposiums and Civil War reenactment symposiums, and like I said, the commercial lending school for bankers that came from like 5 or 6 states on the East Coast. And so everyone had a little bit different character to it, but the bass fishing people were just fun to work with and all that. So, and had the best boss, Clayton Sessoms. He was the best boss I ever had at a university. And after the programs were done, and they had like big dinners and luncheons, and the hotel would cater all the stuff, and we had to make sure everything was right and everybody had what they needed and all that. And that bass fishing seminar, he loved smoking cigars, like nice cigars. He was, what do you call it, a cigar connoisseur, and wine. Loved his wine and cigars. And he would tell us, me and whoever was helping, I usually had graduate assistants that would go to help out. He would say, meet me down in the lounge of the hotel, 8 o'clock or whatever, and we'll enjoy some wine and have a cigar. And we'd sit down there and just shoot the shit and drink. He was probably the one who got me into small, wineries and that kind of thing, and really kind of taught me all the different kind. The only thing I ever knew before that was White Zinfandel and like Riuniti. But he taught me a lot about wine and how to properly taste wine and all that. And he'd always have like get like a cheese tray. Chianti was his favorite. Some good cheese. And those were good times, I tell you. That was 25 years ago. But I'd have to say the second favorite were the bankers. The bankers required us to book a suite in the hotel where they stayed. We would, rent out a floor or two of a local hotel, and the hotel would do the banquets and the award ceremonies and that whole thing. And there were probably like maybe six top commercial lending guys from like 6 of the big banks on the East Coast, and they were the ones kind of in charge of, running the whole school. They would require us to book a suite in the hotel for happy hour. They would have us go, they would give us a list, and probably bought $600-800 worth of liquor, whiskey, and everything, brandy, whatever. They each had their own special, drink that they liked. And every evening after they had their school, classes and all for the day, they would gather in that suite, and they would invite us, the team that was working with me on the project. They would invite us to the suite to have a drink after hours, kind of thing. And they were interesting folks. They were all really nice guys. There was one that came down from West Virginia that was one of my favorites. Real nice guy, out of Charleston, West Virginia. And just good people all around. But yeah, really enjoyed that job. Anyway, did I ever get to the point that I think maybe Lake Norfork was one of the lakes that held the big bass pro tournaments? Fun times. Thanks for watching. Bye-bye.